Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to this video. On this video, I am absolutely going to show you how to comp a property, right? What is comping? Comping is basically you taking the property, the subject property. So let's say you called Mrs. John Doe, right? You called Mrs. John Doe and she said, I'm ready to sell. I am motivated. You guys talk, you follow up with them. Remember, you're not getting that deal on the first call. We've already discussed that in prior videos, right? So you did your follow-ups consistently and you ended up getting the contract. She's ready to go, she's ready to sign, and you're about to make an offer. This is when you sit down and then you comp the property. So we're gonna start with the not to do's. The first thing you don't do is sit down and comp a property that you haven't even called the seller yet. This is called creative avoidance. I see a lot of newbies do this. They sit down and comp properties all day instead of first making the call to see if the seller is even interested in selling. And specifically, since here we're focusing on pre-foreclosures, do they want to sell or do they want to keep the property? And so you waste 20 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours comping the property. Then you call them and they go, hey, I've already solved the problem. I don't want to sell it. I don't want to talk to you. F you, hang up. If you call me again, I'll put a knife on you. I'll find you. I'll sue you, whatever. But they don't want to do business with you. And now you wasted all these hours comping the property that the seller is not motivated and is not going to do business with you. Waste of time and is creative avoidance. What you're doing is you're avoiding to do the hard work, which is actually making the call and finding out first if the seller is interested in selling. So unless the seller have an interest in selling, do we comp the property? I'm sure you said no. So that's the first thing not to do. Now let's define what comp means. Comping is very literal. It's comparing. So you don't compare this bottle of water with a pen, right? Again, you know the saying. You compare apples to apples, bananas to bananas, right? Oranges to oranges. Okay. Same thing with the houses. It's very literal. So if you're talking to Mrs. John Doe and you are about to make an offer, and let's say hypothetically her home is a 3 bedroom, 2 bath. Well, what you're doing is you're doing the market analysis in that neighborhood, and you are trying to find another subject property close by, preferably that is apples to apples to Mrs. John Doe's property, and compare them together and see what is the value of that property that you're looking at next to Mrs. John Doe's property that sold recently. And we're gonna go over those criterias. So you're comparing the two so you can come up with what is the your final product that would look like. Because remember, your ideal client when you're wholesaling property is somebody that is going to come in, fix up the house, then resell it in the back end for a profit. So you need to know what your client, that buyer, will be able to take this property for, renovate it, and then sell it in the back end, and how much can they sell it for. Then you work your numbers backwards. Does that make sense? So the first thing you don't do is comping before the seller is ready. The second thing you do when the seller is ready, you know they're going to do business, they're ready to sell within the next 30 to 60 days. Okay. Anything 90 days and over, they're follow up. Now, it doesn't mean you cannot make an offer right now, but your offer might change in 3 months or 4 months or 6 months. So you can make a verbal offer right now, then you have to follow up with them. I'm talking about the sellers that are ready to go. Okay. So that's what comping means. So for short, we say comps, but it's basically just all that means is comparables. We're doing a market comparables from for our subject property to another property that looks apples to apples like our property. Single family with single family, townhouse with townhouse, right? Condo with condo, duplex with duplex. Does that make sense? You don't comp a single family against a duplex, for example. Does that make sense? You don't comp a 2 bedroom against a 3 bedroom, against a 4 bedroom. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. So I'm gonna give you guys a actual case study, right? And I'm gonna show you guys how to comp a property. Number one, with a free resource, because most of you are avoiding to pay, don't want to pay, or maybe don't have the money to pay for applications, which there is so many out there, and I'm not going to go through all of them. The one that I personally prefer to use, but you have to pay on a monthly basis, I think right now their cost is about 99 bucks a month. It's PropStream. I love using them because they're easy to use, very user friendly, easy to understand. They even show you what is potentially the seller owe on their mortgage. as well. You can see so many details, but also the comping is way easier for you to understand. So um I hope that makes sense, guys. So here we're gonna use, actually we're gonna use Zillow. I love Zillow, especially recently. Zillow actually invested in some new technology, I guess. So they're, they're a little bit more accurate now in their comping. Plus, it's free. You can literally do it from your phone. You can use your phone and comp a property accurately within seconds. Done. To make an offer for offer purposes. Later, you can dig deeper, things like the location, what is nearby, the businesses that are nearby. That's a whole different conversation for another day. So I'm going to show you guys a property that I sold as a fix and flip. This was a pre-foreclosure, so this is a perfect deal. And the reason I want to show you guys this property right here, it is because this ended up being a nightmare flip. And we did a couple of mistakes, which one of those mistakes was how we comp the property. So I want you guys to avoid that mistake, but nonetheless, let me show you guys right here. I'm going to share my screen. Let's see, Nanny Helen. Boom, guys. So as you can see here, this is 4306. Let me see right here. 4306. Let me play with the screen. Let me do the DJ real quick. I think we're gonna use this one right here. This is probably better, right, guys? Yeah, this is probably better. This is a little bit bigger. So 4306 Nanny Helen Borough Avenue. This is in Washington, D.C. I used to live in Maryland, and this is one of the flips that I've done in D.C. We did a great renovation on the property, no doubt. But guys, so many mistakes done on this property. So I'm going to use this as an example. Okay. It was a nightmare. This flip was a nightmare. It was supposed to take 60 days. The flip ended up taking the flip ended up taking maybe 6 months, right? The GC messed up the whole renovation. We went way over budget. I had to fire that GC. He disappeared with money. He stole things in the property. We didn't pay attention when we were comping the property. We were so excited about the numbers. Their salaries ready to go. There was so many things missed. We should have took our time. We missed a lot of things even across the street of the property that when you comp in a property, you want to pay attention to, because your end buyer, if he's a savvy flipper, he would know that this is not a deal because of this is way more riskier. So I need it at a steeper discount. Guess what? We've missed it. Our fault, 100% my fault, because I went with speed, followed the seller. The seller needed to move. There was a foreclosure. We had to stop the auction, catch up on some arrears, help them move from DC to North Carolina. There was so many things that I'm gonna spare here because we're focusing on comping, right? So what is the first thing that we missed? So first and foremost, guys, this is a 4-3. 4-3-18. So when you comping, you see these details right here. Bed and bath count and square footage, so important. Now we're gonna go over here. If you comping in Zillow, absolutely free, you want to go here, owner home details, this tab, home details, right? There's few things that are important when you comping. Number one is the number of beds, number of bath counts, and then the square footage, super important. And then you go to home details, and what you're looking for is here. You want to see the year built right here. Can you see that? So you want to see the year built. Let me make sure actually is bigger on the screen here. Boom. Okay, got it. So since I just made it bigger, I'm going to restart. So you want to make sure you pay attention to these details when you comp in the property. So let's say you're talking to Mrs. John Doe, and this is her property, and this is the property you're about to make an offer on. Okay, so you pull it up. Normally, you actually want to pull up two screens. So we're going to pull up another one, and you're going to see why we do this. Okay, you'll see the importance of doing this. So what you want is bang, bang, bang. You want to open two windows, basically two windows. Okay, and is important that you do this, and I'll show you why it's important. Let me see if I can add the second one right here. Not stop screen, not remove. Where is the second screen? Boom, boom. Okay, I'm not sure you can open the second screen, but anyway, let me move forward. So right here, boom, boom. Okay, so you want to pay attention to this right here. Like I said, bed, bath count, bed and bath. And then you want to pay attention to the square footage, super important, right? Remember, this is the subject property. Obviously, you want to pay attention to, then you click on the home details right here. You see these details, you want to look at this. Single family, right? And year built, super important. And then the lot size. This is really what I care about. Year built, lot size. So what I'm gonna do is I am going right here. What I'm gonna do is, guys, I'm gonna click on this X. So I'm gonna keep these details in mind. This is why you want to open a second tab so that you can have both windows, and then you comp this property on the other window so you can come back here and check the facts and see that you comping apples to apples, right? Which I'm gonna do right now. So what I'm gonna do here, guys, is I'm gonna click on this little X right here. And then you come here, it shows you this map. You see where it says sold? I want you to click here, and then you put right here. So actually you can leave it on sold because that's exactly what we need. And what you want to do is, what I like to do is, I like to recopy the address right here. Let me see, where's the address? Bam. Okay, sorry guys. Boom. Okay, so I'm gonna copy the address. We'll copy the address right here. Control C, Control C, and then right here it already says sold. Here I don't care about. So I can't. If sometimes you have it, sometimes right here these options is on for sale, for rent. You want it to be, when you comp in a property, you're looking for the properties that sold within the last 6 months. Now, today is the 24th of November of 2023. So at the time that I'm shooting this video right here, interest rates are super freaking high. The market is crazy expensive. The market is crazy. Properties are not selling, right? So you want to be super conservative on this market specifically. Because before, when I did this fix and flip, actually you're gonna see the sale date. You can look at it on that other window. When I sold this property, properties were selling way over asking. Why? Because the market was a good market, interest rate was great, debt was cheap, right? Not the case today. So I'm giving you an example a few months later. So on a good market, you can go back up to 6 months. Meaning, if I'm comping the property right here and I come here, obviously I don't want to see anything else other than single family. So I'm going to take out multifamily, condo, lots, manufacturer, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to leave it on house, apply, right? If you click on more, you can add more details. Now, you don't want to add too many crazy things, okay? You don't want to add too many crazy stuff over here. To keep it really simple, if you want, you can literally choose, like, look at here, square feet, for example, right? What did we say the square footage of this property is? Let me see. So this property right here is 1843 square feet. So I can literally start from, let's just say 1500 square feet right here. I can choose minimum 1500 square feet, and then maximum, let's just call it 2000 square feet, right? I don't want to see any properties way below that or way over 2000, okay? And I'll tell you why. Lot size, I'll leave it the way it is. Now, built here, our subject property is built in 1979. It's built, our subject property is built in 1979. So here in the options here, we can literally put, let's see. So when you comp in two properties, right? The subject property and the property that you comp in with, the year built shouldn't exceed 10 years. So if the subject property is built in 1979, you shouldn't exceed 10 years with whatever property you comp it with. Okay, so we can do, let's see, 1979. We can start from 1970 to 19, let's just call it 1980. I think that should be 10 years, correct? Okay. You see, like here, you can be very specific. The problem with messing up with too much with these settings is that it gives you lesser and lesser options. That's why I don't like to go too much into these details. I like to have more options, and then I kind of just cherry and pick the apples to apple properties. The main thing I focus on is bed and bath count, square footage, and lot size. And year build, super important as well. Okay, so you see here, when you go all the way down, there's so many options here, guys. This is very straightforward. You can read it for yourself if it applies for the deal you were comping, then yes, right? Like for example, if you comping properties in Florida, for example, Florida, Arizona, you most likely want to choose this option. For example, must have pool, because most properties have a pool, so you don't want to comp a property that has a pool against a property that don't. Does that make sense? It's very straightforward, right? Let's say you are marketing in a market where things like mountain, park, water is super important. You need to study your market. You need to know your market, guy. Really easy. This is another tip. If you want to know your market, the best way to do this is to go on PropStream, pull a buyer's list in your area, people that have bought within the last year a minimum of 5 properties or over. Call these cash buyers and say, hey, let me introduce myself. My name is Mamadou Diallo. I am marketing every single day to get properties at a discount, and my business is a little bit different. Reason being is because I'm on the newer side, and so I have never fixed and flipped a property. I was calling you to see if you'd be open, if I find properties, to send them your way. And if you're interested in the property, I'll negotiate at a discount and bring it to your plate so you can buy it. So I wanted to know, what is your criteria in terms of buying? Guess what, guys? I've tried this. Absolutely work. Actually, buyers love this, because most buyers, the reason they block wholesalers and put them in the trash can is because most wholesalers have no clue what they're doing, and they don't go and learn or talk to a cash buyer first that have an experience in fix and flipping, and teach them the numbers or give them a buy price. So they send all these properties. My email is full of junk like that. Wholesalers send me deals, and they go, hey, for assignment, and I want to make $20,000. And you look at the deal, you go, how is this a deal? Your numbers is shit. Your numbers is all like, where did you learn to comp, right? Another tip, if you want to be really good at comping, this is reps, guys. How do you get good at doing push-ups? By doing them every single day. You start with 1, then you move to 2, then you move to 3, then 10, then 20, then 25. Is the same thing with comping. Really easy. I want you to go in your local county or local state on Facebook, go on your local Facebook wholesaling group. Let's say hypothetically you live in Baltimore, just type on Facebook Baltimore wholesaling real estate group. There's a bunch. Find the one that has the most followers and the most active in terms of people posting. I want you to go in there and add yourself in every wholesaler, everybody you see posting deals, add yourself in their cash buyers lists. Put your email, the posted deal. Hey guys, I have a deal on 123 Main Street. I'm looking to assign it. You don't care that you don't have money. Don't worry about that. You put your email, they'll add you in their buyers list. Guess what's going to happen? You start getting emails of deals, and I want you to practice. I want you every single day to lock 1 hour to 2 hours. I would say 1 hour is more than enough. Take like 10 properties that wholesalers sent you for assigning, and I want you to go through the exercise of comping those deals and seeing if there are deals or no deals. You'll be surprised. 99.9% of them will be absolute trash. But all you're looking to do again is what? Get the reps and be a great comper. That's another tip for you. All right, guys. Anyway, I'm going to move on. So here, in terms of sold, like I said, in a good market, technically we can go up to 6 months. We don't want to go over 6 months, but if we don't have a lot of data, let's say hypothetically you click on 6 months and you don't get a lot of properties that pop up here, you can go up to 12 months. But anything over 12 months in a good market is probably maybe the area there's not a lot of activity, there's not a lot of cash buyers, so you maybe don't want to be in that area anyway. Now, on this market specifically, as of November 2023 that I'm shooting this video, the market is bad. So you definitely don't want to go all the way to 6 months to find your comparables. You don't want to exceed 3 months, because this market is so crazy that every single day the interest rates is just going up. Another point, another half a point, blah, blah, blah. So you want your comparables. So a property that was worth $200,000 4 months ago might be worth only $160,000 today. Does that make sense? So you don't want to exceed 3 months if you can. Okay, so let's try. Let's see here. We have 90 days. Boom. I'm going to choose the 90 days and boom, let's apply, right? So typically for me, what I'm looking at, guys, I want to see this map right here. So the only thing I haven't done yet is this. You need to repaste the address right here, and you're going to see it's going to pull up 43. Let's fix the address. Boom. Boom. There you go. So I'm going to click on this little X again after I put all those settings, right? Now look at the difference. Boom. Shakalaka boom. Look at that. You see how the map popped up? You see? You see it popped up. It show you the streets, everything. This is really good, right? Now, here, if you have any comps, that means that already tells me right here, just looking at it, nothing sold within the last 3 months close by. This is all, it's all in the gray color. And look at this, right? You see also what I said, if you do a lot, if you play with the settings too much, you see how there's no results. That's why you kind of want to just focus on the bed and bath count and choose single family and leave it at that, right? And then obviously choose within the last. So let's try this. Let's do maybe within the last 6 months, and I'll show you guys something. Boom, boom. No, okay. Even in the last 6 months, nothing. That's a bad sign. Okay, guys, that is absolutely not a good sign. Now, if there were properties sold recently within the last 6 months, guys, some of these dots that you see right here with these numbers, some of them will be yellow. If you see yellow, it means it's a property that's sold, and you want to click on that and read the details, right? Like this one, for example, this is not yellow, obviously, but I'm just saying. You click on it, you see the details. If you want to see more, boom, you click on it, it's gonna pop up, and then obviously remember what you want to read. Look at this. Look at like this one as an example. It says 3-1, 1314 square feet. This right here already disqualifies this property as a comp. I don't even need to see anything else. I'm not looking at it. It's not a comp because my subject property is a 4-2 and is a 1800 square feet, not a comp. I'm moving on. But just for exercise sake, let's go into the home details. Boom, look at that, 1926, not a comp. Okay, boom. So we leave it at that. Okay, let's see. We might, in order to find comps here, guys, we might have to go all the way 12 months, which obviously I'm not going to use on this market, but this is just for practice purposes. Okay, so then let's remove some of the let's see, let's remove some of the settings here. Okay, what did I put here? Boom, more. Did I touch anything here? Okay, let's remove this. Let's leave this at no minimum, no max, right? Let's remove all these criterias. This one we can leave it. Boom. Okay, let's apply, and then let's see if it gives us some results, some yellow results. Oh shit. Okay. All right, guys. So as you can see, no comps, right? You can zoom in, you can zoom out. This is really good. Look at that. I think I just saw a yellow dot. Boom. But I had to zoom all the way out, right? Look at that. This one right here, 5. Um, this is on the same street, guys. So, and I know this area. So let me see if this is boom. This one sold for 523. I can guarantee you guys that we probably created the comp for this, but let me see when this one sold. Mine sold on 0502 2022. This one sold, okay, 06. Okay, here's why I'm saying that, guys. The reason I'm saying that I created this comp, it is because when I got that subject property, we couldn't sell it. We're stuck with this property, and reason being is because, check this out, guys. Check this out on this map. We've missed. So my subject property, where's the subject property? Where's the subject property? Let's see. The subject property should be right here somewhere. There is a gas station. I think the gas station is somewhere here, right? And my blue, let's see, boom, Nanny Helen. Okay, definitely not there. It should be here somewhere. So normally you drive, boom, you come here. There's a gas station right here. This is a busy street. There's some red lights, and then you go all the way here, and then some comparables were on this street right here. The difference, which is very important, you want to pay attention to this when you comp in a property. The first thing that we missed is on my subject property is a busy street. On that side of the street is way busier. So there is no parking in front of the house. You have to go, you have to pass the house, take your left after the light, then turn all the way in the back and park from the backyard. That was the first thing that I missed. And we compared the property with another property that is on the same street, but is after the red light, and that street is way less busy. And also you can park in front of the property. So there is parking in front of the in front of that comparable property. So we looked at it, we were like, oh shit, this property is worth way over $500,000. Got super excited. At the time we came up with 540 or 545 because the property had sold. Huge mistake. My property on my side of the street, one, is the busiest street, way busier. The gas station is right across the street. If you know anything about gas stations, where do people that sell drugs and shot other people hang out? Yes, you guessed it, at the gas station. So bad idea, right? So now my subject property had a huge backyard, so you could there was ample parking there, but you couldn't get from inside the house from in front of the house. That's a huge liability, guys. When you remember, when somebody is fix and flip a property, who are they looking to sell it to? Who's their end client? Is a family that's gonna move in the house and live in with their family and raise their kids. So number one thing they're worried about is schools, safety, security, right? Convenience, right? So this property was a little bit tight, okay, in that. So that's the first thing. So pay very attention to the location when you're comping. If you find a subject property, make sure that those properties, number one, there's few things you cannot exceed, guys. When you comping a property, like I said, number one is bed and bath count. You gotta match. If you comping, let's say you can only find a 3-bedroom, but your subject property is a 4-bedroom. Well, you have to deduct. If the property you're comping against sold for $400,000, but it's a 4-bedroom, and yours is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, but everything else matches, it's just the bedroom that is different, and that's the only comparable that you found, then you can deduct between $15,000 to $20,000 from your comp. So instead of saying your house is worth ARV, if you don't, ARV is after repair value. At this point, you should know what that means. So you can just say, you know what, my ARV would be at 280, for example. Does that make sense? So you deduct square footage. You don't want to exceed 200 above and 200 below. So if like this subject property is 1843. So I don't want to look at anything over 2100, max 2200. And I still have to deduct something from my subject. Or I don't want to look at anything below probably, let's see, 1600 square feet. Anything below that, I might have to adjust. Does that make sense? So I might have to up the number a little bit, but typically you want to find one that is apples to apples. So for example, 1840 square feet, for example, or 1870, doesn't matter, but in the 1800 square feet, built the same year, 1979, or maybe 1980, 1981, and then the lot size very similar as well. Okay, now in certain states, lot size matters way more than others. Like in, it's in certain, so this is where your research on the market comes in handy. If you build a relationship with buyers, you might have to call 10, you might have to call 20, you might have to call 100. Guys, all you need is 4 to 5 cash buyers that you know by their first name, and if you call them, they would pick up and answer the phone for you because you're a professional, and you will crush your market because they will teach you so much about your market, right? They're already in the business. They're flipping houses all day long. They're selling. They know how homeowners, what all homeowners in those areas like. They know what areas to stay away from. They know what zip codes to stay away from. It's literally like a mastermind you're having for absolutely free. All you have to do is pick up the damn phone, go on PropStream, pull the list, and do this. Boom, 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 boom. Hello. That's all you have to do, but you have to do that. Remember, there's no magic pill. We already talked about it. If you're looking for a guru that tells you that you don't have to do the work, I'm not the guy. Don't buy it or ask for your refund and move on somewhere else. Okay, so let's move on into this one right here. Let's see. So let's move on. So like I said, guys, so here, right, so we missed the gas station shouldn't have, and then we missed, like I said, our side of the street was very busy. Another thing that we missed was the bedrooms in that property. This is also like when you're making your offers. If you haven't seen the property yet, if you're making a sight unseen offer, you want to make sure that you explain to the seller that, hey, my offer right now is contingent, obviously, upon me coming and seeing the property and confirming that everything we spoke about on the phone, the way you described the property, is absolutely accurate, because right now I'm blindsided. I haven't seen the property, even if they have sent you a pictures, by the way. Because like this property, I've seen pictures, but when I went to walk it myself, guess what I realized? Even though it's a 4-bedroom, this was one of the other nightmare that we ended up having in the back end to sell the home. The bedrooms were so small, and they're all up. It was 3 bedrooms upstairs, and then there was a big bedroom in the basement, fully done. But it was weird. So very small. How does a family come in and look at this property and go, where am I gonna put my stuff? Where is my kid gonna sleep? Like they were so small that we had to come in and break some walls and in the basement get really creative. I'm not gonna go over all of that here, but I'm just telling you, like those details are super important. So you want to make sure you're honest with the seller that, hey, this is contingent upon me coming and walking the property and confirming that everything we talked about is good, and it looks the way you told me it look, blah 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 blah, which they understand, which they understand. Okay. The great thing about if you guys end up signing up for the hands-on mentoring is you're going to learn how to professionally talk to these sellers. You don't have to fake it. You don't have to lie. You can be brutally and straightforward and honest and still get deals. That's what will actually get you deals. Not trying to make up things. Oh, I'm this big guy, I have all this money, blah blah blah, but you can barely afford Starbucks. You lying. Keep it very professional. Keep it very straightforward. Remember, if you're part of the hands-on mentorship, then you have your whole community. You have access to the resources that I have access to. You have access to, the proof of funds that I have access to. You have access to the network that I have access to. If you don't live in the market, you're marketing in. I probably have boots on the ground. I can help you have access to those. You have access to transaction coordinators. You have access to closing attorneys. Okay, so don't overthink it. You have access to me also to bring these deals. If you're stuck, we will help you comp it. I'll help you look at it. I'll help you confirm your numbers. Does that make sense? Okay. So listen, on Zillow, keep it simple. You can comp a property in look how many minutes did it take me to comp this property. If I was making an offer on this property, guys, I would have already actually, once you become really good on the phone, guys, you can do this while you have the seller on the phone and make a verbal offer right there. You can use this as a negotiation. Okay. Look at this bad boy. We painted this property blue, guys. I think when we got it, it was green. So guys, you guys see this entrance? So this entrance right here, let me see. Let me make this big. Boom. This entrance here, guys. Oh, even better. Okay, boom. This entrance right here, guys, right here. Right across it, that's where the gas station is. Okay, let's look at the street view. Do you guys see this? Look at the gas station right here. Bad idea. Plus, like I said, busy street, right? Super busy street. You see, this is the entrance right here. This entrance was broken. We had to fix it. But really, it's not convenient for the owner to come here and then stop the whole traffic just to get in here. Plus, it was so hard to fix this correctly. You know what I mean? And again, it's a busy street. There's always cars, boom, 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 the noise, right? All of this affects your ARV. So if a property, look at this, you see right here, soon as you pass here, this red light, boom, 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 right here. So you'd have to come, you see also the bus station, the bus stop, can you guys see that? Another liability, okay, in front of the house. When I say liability, meaning your house then is worth way less than the houses that are on this side of the street, okay? Oh, shit. So you guys cannot see what I'm seeing. Sorry, guys. I was talking and I'm not even showing you the screen. I'm showing a different screen. Sorry. So this is what I was showing, guys. Boom. This is the subject property. Boom. You turn right here. That's funny. Gas station right here. Bad idea. Very busy street. Cars. Boom, boom, boom. You see the bus stop right here. Bad idea. So what I mean by liability is all this diminishes the value of your property. So if the property is across the street right here, let's go. Boom. You pass. This is how you do it. You pass the bus station right here. Soon as you pass the bus station, guys, you have to turn. This is a red light, right? You have to turn on this side and then turn another left to park behind the house and get in. And then you have a whole driveway to park in. Not a problem. But that's a problem when you looking at it as an investor that's going to put this property back on the market and sell it. Look at another thing that tells you that this area might be iffy. You see this whole corner stores where they're selling alcohol and stuff. That tells you the neighborhood is kind of. So this neighborhood, when I started working this property, I learned actually that on this street, before you couldn't walk here. You will either get shot, somebody will be fucking come and tell you to take off your clothes so they can take it, whatever. It was dangerous neighborhood, right? So that made sense. So what the mistake we did is we went across the street. This is the mistake that a lot of newbies also make. But even when you experience, sometimes you just get excited. You're talking to the seller, they're giving you all this, like you get distracted. That's really what happened here, because it was not like I was a newbie when we did this property, to be honest with you guys. It's just a mistake, which happens. Again, you're not always going to land on deals. The reason I'm using this example to show you guys how to comp also, guys, is to show you the reality of the business. You will not always have home runs and make money, right? Like this one right here, when we sold this property, we were supposed to make $60,000, ended up making $12,000 after all the numbers. It was crazy. It was crazy. So the comp that we looked at was this property right here. I even walked it myself, this property, guys. At the time, this property was on sale. There was an open house. I went to walk it and I saw the renovation was well done. And, it's the same street, right? Look at that, Nanny Helen, same street. But again, I didn't pay attention to all the details that I just mentioned. So this property had sold at the time around like 545. And I thought mine also, why not? I was dead wrong. As you can see, my subject property, how much did it sell for? 515. And even this, guys, we have to push it. We had to pray, push it. I prayed. So many buyers came in, they looked at the property, and guess what? They were like, bedroom's too small, the gas station, all these things we're talking about right now. They brought up all these issues. It was crazy. It was a nightmare. We ended up finding a buyer who I think bought it for either an investment, or he didn't care. Like it was not like he had a big family or he was single, something like that. Like he didn't care. So we dropped the price. We listed it at 525. Then we dropped the price to 515. Then we ended up selling it. We did so many concessions. I think we even gave the seller the buyer $5,000 concession at the closing table. This is when you give some money, kick some money back to the buyer for insurance, title, whatever. Let's not get into that. But you guys get the point, guys. Use Zillow. Really simple. If you're just making a verbal offer or even a written offer, if you're sending what is called a letter of intent, so you draft in what is called a letter of intent to buy the home and sending an offer to the seller because they're ready to work with you, you can do a very quick, comping right here on Zillow. Right here, really, really easy. Okay, you comp those things. Once you find one that is apples to apples, few things that give you a clue that maybe you should stay away from the area is really simple. One is you can't find, let me stop sharing here. One is you can't find comps. So you pull up the property, you go back 3 months, you don't find anything. You go back 6 months, you don't find anything. Now, this is obviously on a good market. Here we're in a different market, so it's different. But this property right here in this area, I should have known if I dug deeper that, number one, this is an iffy neighborhood, all these things around. I have to be really conservative with my numbers, blah, blah, blah. So that's a whole nother story for another day. Okay. But few things, red flags, you can't find comps. There's a lot of wholesalers that go into rural areas where there is no cash buyers active, is little small villages, 500 people live there. Nobody buys properties, everybody's broke, and it's so easy to get contracts. They lock it up and then they market it online and they're looking for a cash buyer, and they wonder why nobody's calling me. I got this thing at 10% ARV, bro. Is in the middle of fucking horseland. Of course nobody's calling you. And that's the reason why you can't find comps. There is no activity, there's no cash buyers. So the first green flag that tells you that this is a good area is how many active cash buyers is in that area. You can easily find that on PropStream, right? It's $99 a month, guys. It's really not that expensive. So if there's a lot of cash buyers in the area that bought within the last 12 months, and you see a lot of properties that have been renovated that look like mine, you can see is renovated, is vacant, everything is brand new. So you know this is a renovated house. So that means there is fix and flip activity in this area. Then that's a neighborhood where you want to be. Follow the money. Follow the money. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. Okay. So the first red flag is you don't see any data, you don't see any comp. That might be an area you want to stay away from. That means you're maybe in a bad area. The second thing is you want to, even if you find the data, make sure you're in the right area of that town or city or state, whatever. Because like in Baltimore, for example, you better be at the right. So Baltimore have a lot of activity. I've done deals there. That's where I started. But you better be in the right zip codes, because certain zip codes, holy moly, nobody would take your house even if you gave it to them for free and for right reasons. Okay. So guys, make sure you keep it simple. Use Zillow in the beginning to comp. All you need is this to comp. And then don't sit there and comp properties if the seller is not ready. And remember, don't waste your time. And then, yeah, guys, just practice this craft every single day. And if you want more, if you want me to go deeper, by the way, if you end up being part of the hands-on training on the Q&As, we can jump in and do more comps, right? Oh, another thing you don't do, guys, don't confuse comping and underwriting. If you're talking to sellers where the only offer that makes sense, remember, we only comp if you're looking to buy the deal cash. Comping only makes sense if the deal, you guys are talking about a cash purchase. If it's a creative finance purchase because the numbers doesn't pencil out, because the cash offer don't work, because they owe too much on the mortgage, so you have to take over the mortgage or do hybrid, so that's partially subject to and seller finance. Well, that's not comping, that's more underwriting, which we're going to do a whole nother video for underwriting. Underwriting is completely different. Here we're talking about comping. So when you're talking about comping, that means you're looking to buy that property, not you, but obviously the cash buyer that you're going to sell it to is going to have to buy it cash, either use their own money or go to a hard money lender, get a loan, then buy it outright completely. Does that make sense? All right, guys, make sure you stay bold. Make sure you be bold and stay bold. Make sure you take the action. Make sure you remember consistent and perfect action is better than one inconsistent perfect action, because perfect action don't work. Perfect inconsistent action don't work. All right, guys. Peace.